Welcome to episode number 590. Wait, we're on 95 of the Unknown Games podcast. Can I do it? Can I get a redo?
Yeah, you were muted. Yeah, you were muted. You were muted.
It was a special opening. I got my new fancy little audio, not interface, but it's just, I got some knobs to twist and turn.
Oh yeah, what is it called? I guess that would be just what do you call those things? Just a controller of some kind, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a controller. It helps a lot on stream. I didn't really set it up really well for the podcast. But I was like, let me turn down the volume and be kind of cool with it. And it's like, nah, I forgot to unmute myself in the process. It was
honestly, I've started stream like a bunch of times muted, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm muted. Hold on.
It's so easy to do it. You just feel like, oh hey, my name is what the heck? Where's this? Why is the audio not registering?
It's hilarious. Yeah.
But welcome everybody to episode number 95 of the Unknown Games podcast. I'm your host Adrian, and I'm joined as always with the game duck himself, the waterfowl, aka the man with all of the clips.
Go for broke.
There we go. You still didn't get the Guilty Gear, man.
No, I need to do that. Yeah, I need to go and I'm gonna get XX and then I haven't played Strive, so I don't know what the answer is like for Strive, but
Strive is. I need to get back on Strive. I don't want to say I've taken a break because I've still been watching a lot of the streams in terms of like weekly tournaments. Some great stuff. If you're looking for tournaments, there's ICFC, I think, Intercontinental Fighting Game Championship or whatever. They're doing like Europe, Asia, and North American weekly tournaments. And yeah, check out Tasty Steve if you want to check out the UA, not the UA, but the North American circuit. I think Majin Obama is for the Japanese, or for the Asia circuit of people who are doing it. But anyways, it's pretty cool. I don't know. I love Guilty Gear Strive, and I'm getting off topic.
Yeah, so I got distracted. Did you say one of the players' name is Majin Obama?
Obama? Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
hope I got that right. Now I got to go look this up and be like, Majin Obama.
If it's not a fighting game player, okay.
Yeah, he's real.
Otherwise, you get some weird pictures probably.
You get you get like a weird version of like a Majin Buu, but with Obama's face.
Barack Obama's face. Yeah. That's
man.
Goku throw the spirit bomb into him.
Just get that spirit bomb. I mean, today we're going to keep it really short. We don't really have much. I mean, not much has happened. And of course, before we do get completely started into the podcast, we got to say thanks to everyone who's joining us right here live on YouTube. We do record every Monday night in Japan at 9 p.m. So that's going to be your 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time if you're in the U.S. And if you're in Australia, because that's the other time zone we know, that's what 10 p.m.?
Well, Australia actually has more than one time zone, I believe.
Man, can I just get? Oh man, well,
because it's such a big country continent, right? So
this is why I like small countries.
This is just a one time zone.
One time zones.
Yeah.
The one time zone countries. Anyways, thanks for joining. And if you're listening via your ears, of course, on Google Podcast or Spotify, Anchor FM, wherever those audio services are, thanks. Leave a 5-star review, 3 to 5. Go ahead. You know the drill. Leave it for us. And finally, follow us on Twitch.
Sure.
There we go. I'll probably do this exactly the same way at the end of the show. So you stick around, and that's it. We're done. I'm out.
Stick around. You need to work on your your engagement. So you gotta tempt the audience. You gotta be like, we'll give you a hot tip on how to make money or whatever, but we'll only do it at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So it entices them to stick around.
To stick around.
If it's offline, obviously they can just skip ahead and then be like, oh, you didn't say anything. But if you're live, you're trapped. You're stuck.
We're trapped. Yeah. We're stuck. We're stuck. Yeah. Today it's been a relaxing day. I don't know how was your day today? Pretty good.
Yeah, it's been not bad, all things considered. As far as Mondays go, it's been all right, I guess.
It wasn't
Um,
blazing hot today.
well, I was at home all day, so I don't know what the outside world is like, but yeah.
It was. I think it rained a little bit. I mean, but it
Mm.
wasn't like just blazing hot. I mean, this weekend was something else.
It was a little hot. Yeah, I was sweating through my shirt a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, well, join us next week.
It's like the second fake stop. I'm sorry, everybody. I am like I don't know. I'm just kind of like a little bit like here and there today for some
Yeah.
reason. But yeah, let's just go ahead and hop into the show because we like I said we didn't have too much to talk about. But the title of this episode pretty much is like, yo, how to swap out your PlayStation. Well, you're not swapping out anything. You're just upgrading.
Oh, you're inserting.
You're inserting
Right.
a new SSD into your PlayStation
So,
5.
sorry, I actually don't own a PS5 and I didn't really read up too much about the PS5. So, is the storage on a PS5 internal, like entirely internal? Like, because I know at least when you buy a PS4 and a PS3, you're doing a drive swap. Like, it already comes with a drive, right?
Right. You're swapping the drive completely.
So, is the memory on a, sorry, not the memory, sorry, the hard drive, the storage on a PS5, is it soldered to the motherboard or like how does it?
That's actually a good question. I mean, because what it seems like it is that you don't, you're not like taking that one out. At least
Yeah,
from what we've been reading, you're adding on. They have a little slot in there that's
yeah. So what interests me is that it's taken Sony almost a year, let's say half a year, to put out a firmware update that allows users to put in their own drive, which means
right.
this blank drive has been existing in their console since day one.
This was a software update, and it's still not available to everybody.
Yeah, it's like a beta right now.
Yeah,
so
it's only for Go ahead.
I think that means like they intend. I'm assuming that they intended this to be a day one feature, but for some reason didn't have it ready. Because like you know what I mean, like they shipped a console with a blank drive bay. So
well, I mean, the thing is that they talked about this at the before launch, at least months before, and they didn't give a time frame. They just said available at a later date. You'll be able to use these existing hard drives, SSDs on the market. And the way they framed it was that there just weren't enough available on the market at the time that met their compatibility standards.
Yeah.
That was the thing. They were like, well, it needs to kind of, you want to be able to just, I guess, go online, check them out, and see. But yeah,
you know what? If that's the reason, there might be some truth to that statement. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it is interesting that they shipped it with a blank.
It's just I wish I had the actual.
Because here's the thing,
it's just like a little, it's like a pill box. It's just there. Just an empty box.
Yeah. I feel like Sony could have populated that drive with, or sorry, they feel like they could have populated that slot with their own drive, and then like when the software update came out, there's like, okay, now you can do a little swap. But that's not the case. So I guess that means the storage on a PS5 is on the motherboard somewhere.
On the motherboard, I guess.
There's a teardown, from last year. I should go look at that teardown again just to see where the actual storage is located. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, so that is the case, and I know that there's, I think it's Seagate or a couple other manufacturers now have hard drives or SSDs out there that are like, hey, this is. I don't want to say it's PS5 compatible like 100%, but it's like, yo, you can plug this into your PS5, as a kind of.
Yep.
If you're looking for it, hey, it's there. But of course, Sony has some requirements that we're just going to kind of like browse over. I think you know these by heart, so you can just go ahead. I'll find them on screen for you. But yeah, just you know them by heart.
I just have the page open myself. So basically, if you're going to be installing your own SSD into your PS5, there's a couple things, like it has to be a specific drive. So Sony's PS5 is using a different form factor called the M.2 form factor.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're not familiar with this form factor, it's tiny. It's really small. It looks
it's really tiny.
Yeah, you can imagine it to be like a thumb drive, let's say, like a USB thumb drive. Imagine that, but much thinner and very fast. So yeah,
and very fast, yes.
So it's using an M.2 NVMe SSD, which that might not mean anything to you, but that's what it is. Of note, and I think this is what's causing a lot of the compatibility questions for people that don't know what these drives are. It uses a Gen 4 PCIe NVMe. We'll get to that later, but that's Gen 4. In terms of capacity, it could be 250 gigabytes minimum to 4 terabytes. So honestly, essentially anything, basically.
Okay.
I think you'll be hard pressed. Well, that's not true. Oh, of Gen 4 though? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Almost anything. There's also a read speed recommendation. It's 5,500 megabits per second. That's just like not a hard fast rule apparently, but it's something to keep note of. Okay. In terms of a form factor, okay, so M.2 drives come in different form factors, usually 4 digits, usually 4. The first 2 digits are the drive width, and the second 2 digits, or in some case 3 digits, that's drive length. So Sony's saying this is going to be a 2230 or 2242, 2260, 2280, or 22110. So that's just the size of the drive.
Okay.
Again, this is honestly basically any drive you can find on the market will be like, one of those. Yeah.
I mean, because I mean, it was interesting. When my initial impression of this was, I thought, okay, these are finally out. Cool. Let's, I don't have a PS5, so it does nothing for me. But it's just kind of like, okay, cool. But the headlines were immediately like, oh, you can upgrade your PS5. You can expand the storage on it, but at what complex cost are you going to have to go through, to kind of figure this out? And I was just like, what? Is it that complex? So I was reading over, I was watching some people kind of, talk about it, and the way that it was phrased, and like, honestly, I'm going to zoom out on this document if you're looking at this on YouTube. And if not, you can definitely go to Sony's. I mean, you can actually just type in, I believe, like, what is this? How to add an M.2 SSD to PS5. Go to Sony's console, go to their homepage for their blog or whatever on their website, and you'll see, like, it's a lengthy page. It is not, it's complete with diagrams. It's got its diagrams and everything, but it's not like, okay, you can't manage it.
I gotta say, just straight up, it looks a lot worse than it actually is.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is it looks worse than it is compared to with the Xbox One and the Xbox.
Remember the Xbox 360? That was badass. That was like,
just clip that mug on top and let it rock. And
I gotta admit, that was cool. Yeah,
they did. Microsoft opted to do something really similar to that. It's not a clip, but I believe you just plug it in and it's just an external.
Yeah, I believe they worked. I want to say what company. I believe they worked with Seagate. I want to say to develop the interface, but it's basically just a fancy ass drive enclosure. But anyways, yeah. So the other thing is, like, it needs to be a M key socket type. Again, if you've never worked with these drives before, so like, what is that? But I mean, I don't know how much of an explanation you want to me to give you, but there's 2 keys basically on the market that are common: the B key and the M key. The B key are for drives that use the SATA interface, which is slower. And the M key uses PCIe drives, which is much faster.
Okay.
SATA drives exist in the wild, but they're B keyed and they're not going to fit. They're not going to really work, right? So don't buy a SATA key. But anything, if you buy, they're like, no.
I would almost say, like, if you get any of these form factors as an M.2, they should all be M key, correct? They should be socket 3.
There's a chance they got to be on. Like, honestly, they could be B key. But if you're buying anything from like a reputable manufacturer, manufactured within the last 2 years, that's especially PCIe Gen 4. That's the kicker right there. PCIe Gen 4. That's the kicker. Because I don't even know if I didn't say SATA anything, right?
Right. Like, I actually don't know if my motherboard is PCIe Gen.
No, it's gonna be PCIe. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm like the norm. I'm probably the person who would be kind of like, all I've done is done console gaming, and this is kind of like the first time I've ever had to like swap out something other than a normal hard drive. For the PS4, it was relatively simple. You take out the tray and just load it in.
Put your drive in. Yeah,
it was simple, right? You could use SSD or
a mechanical drive, even,
or a mechanical drive. It was just like that. So for people coming from that background to kind of potentially having to look this up, because not having enough storage on these new next gen consoles has been an issue for some people. I honestly, I don't think it'd be for me, because I don't play 12 games at the same time.
Oh man, I've ran into PS4 storage limitations so many times. Yeah.
So it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I guess what is the, I mean, I guess what's the caveat? I know we were talking before the show.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, I just touched on it briefly, really, just now, but like the if you go to Amazon.com or .ca or .jp or whatever, wherever you live, and you type in NVMe hard drive, or NVMe SSD or NVMe M.2 or whatever, right?
Right.
Chances are you're gonna find some drives that are the same physical size that Sony is requiring
Okay.
for some extremely attractive prices. We're talking like $100 for a terabyte, like really, really attractive prices. And a lot of people are going to be like, this is like, I'm going to upgrade my PS5, right?
Right.
If you look really carefully at those drives though, I mean, don't bring up Amazon. I don't know if you've done it yet. You're probably
Okay,
going to dock yourself. You're probably going to dock yourself.
I was about to.
You're probably going to dock yourself if you bring up Amazon. And open like a private tab or something if you have to, if you want to do this. But if you do that right now on Amazon, chances are you're going to find a lot of drives that look like they're going to fit your PS5, right?
Right.
Those drives, the ones that are like $100 for a terabyte, more likely than not, those are PCIe Gen 3 drives, which is not what Sony is saying you need. They're saying you need PCIe Gen 4.
So that Gen 4 is pretty much the clutch, right? Like that's what you need to make sure. Of course, the size requirements, because there it is just a slot in there. It's not even a slot. I actually want to know how to actually get this thing in. I need to pull that up.
That's a good question. I'm surprised.
It's not a slot. I've seen what it looks like.
So I'm surprised that you. I mean, to be honest, I'm not that surprised. I'm not like trying to diss you or anything, but this. I mean, I'll get to that later. But okay, I'll put it this way: Have you ever inserted a SIM card into a phone before?
Yes.
Then you're fine. You can figure it out.
That's not. That was it. Have you? Like there was like a test right there.
Yeah. Have you ever put in like a 3DS game into a 3DS? If so, then you're good. It's not that
hard.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. I mean, yeah. I don't think it's that hard. It looks like there's there's not.
You put it in, okay, to be fair, you put it in like a 45-degree angle, and then
I think it's like at a 45. It just looks strange.
And then it looks like a springboard, like a diving board. It just kind of sticks out there, and then you just take your screw and you screw it in, and you're done. It's just that's
exactly it. It just seems like it looks strange when you're looking at it, but then you're like, okay. Here's actually a picture of it. That I'm gonna pull up.
Once if you do it once, you're like,
I like put up a giant picture, and I was like, nah, this ain't what I need. But yes, this is it right here. If you do look at it, it's like we were saying, it looks like you wouldn't be able to fit it in there.
Yeah, you just slot it in like a 45-degree angle, and then you just lower it. You push it down with your finger, and you screw it in.
There you go.
Yeah. No. So you need PCIe Gen 4 and M.2 NVMe's, which is the most like the current PCIe generation. So PCIe is a computer interface that allows peripherals like hard drives and capture cards and graphics cards to communicate to the CPU, basically, right?
Right.
It has a huge PCIe 4 especially has a huge bandwidth pipe. So you can get extremely fat data transfers. PCIe Gen 4 is relatively new. I want to say it's 2 to 3 years old. I mean, it was older than that, but it's only been in consumer motherboards for like the last 2 years or whatever, right?
And I think that's what Sony said. Like you need a minimum of 5,500.
Yeah, that's another thing that I want to talk about. Actually,
I think that's what the read-write speed or something.
Yeah, and people, if you're like, oh, I don't know, how do I know if it's Gen 4, you're good.
If it's Gen 3. You're done from the beginning. Yeah. You're done from the beginning.
Basically, don't if it's a PCI Gen 4 drive from, let's say, a Samsung or from a Western Digital or a Seagate, basically any of the big like companies, you're gonna hit that recommendation. Don't worry about it. Certainly, if you're buying from, let's say, a less like reputable company, or if you're buying, God forbid, a Gen 3 card, you might not hit those speeds, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is that you were saying, Gen 3, these things are costing. I mean, it's not cheap. Either way you get into it, it's not cheap just to, you want to just add some extra games. That's it. You're adding extra games to your library, upgrading the storage. Honestly, if it could be $50, you'd want it to be $50, but you're like, you know what? I got a premium console. This thing is going to cost me a premium. So you're willing to, to take that dive in. But with that same dive, you want to make sure that everything is to T that you put in there. And I guess that leads us to the last two kind of points. And number one being the heat sink, which
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting to me, is that
yeah.
Sony is saying you need a heatsink on your NVMe.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at my PC right now. I have one of my drives has a heatsink on it, and that's just because my motherboard came with a heatsink.
Right.
And it's like, here, slap this on your bad boy. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll do that. But I have two drives in my motherboard, and the second one doesn't have a heatsink, and it's been fine. It runs like
Yeah, I was thinking like it
it's
should be
fine. It's
fine
fine.
without a heat
Yeah,
sink, right?
well,
Like,
at least my drive is fine. A lot of people that I know of that build PCs don't have heat sinks on their drives. My laptop in front of me here that I'm using
mhm.
has one of these drives as well and does not have a heatsink on it. I like heat sinks are nice to haves, but in the PC like community, they've never been like you.
Required.
Yeah, it's not like a
Or it's
PC.
like, yeah.
It's not like a CPU. You have to have a CPU cooler, or you know what I mean.
Right, right.
You have to have a CPU cooler, but nobody is saying like, oh, you have to have a heatsink on your NVMe. So it's interesting to me that Sony's like, oh, have one, and I'm like, really? Like,
Yeah,
does the drive get that hot?
does it get that hot? I mean, I guess
Yeah.
because it's in that confined space and there's a little lid that goes on top of it. I don't know if they want you to put the lid back on.
Yeah, you know,
but
I guess that's fair because in a computer you do have airflow over your drives. It's in that chamber essentially. You have fans, right?
right, right.
I guess in a PS5, if it's just in that weird ass chamber and there's no airflow, then sure, I can see that. I can see that being an issue. Yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like it's not the worst thing. You can buy. I heard that you can buy the SSD with. I mean, you can get
There are
it
a couple.
with
Yeah, there's a
or
couple. So
without.
Western Digital sells one of their. It's called the WD Black obviously in the NVMe
That
format.
sounds sexy.
It looks cool. Look it up. It looks really cool.
We're gonna-
The
it's like-
WD Black NVMe. Just type that in right now. It's a cool drive. You're never gonna see it, especially if you put it in your PS5.
You're never gonna
But it
see
looks pretty cool. Anyways, that comes with a heatsink, so you can get that, and you'll be good.
What was it
But
called again?
The WD Black
The WD Black Ops.
NVMe, and you'll probably see a picture of it. Yeah.
There we go. I think I'm looking at it now. Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, if
Yeah,
if you're putting it in a PC tower, you're like, hey, that's my drive. But if it's in a PS5, like whatever.
Yeah, I mean you can't see it all. It's
Whatever.
like it's gone to the it's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
I mean there's a bunch of these, but yeah, they look really like a nice, and it's got RGB on it too.
Some of them RGB. Obviously, if you're putting this in a PS5, please don't get
Please, yeah,
RGB.
no, get the
don't-
RGB. Get the
please
RGB. Please get it.
Yeah, make your
So-
make your games fast.
Make your games fast as light.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm seeing the stream now because it's a couple seconds
These are-
delayed. Some of these are external drives, and
Yeah.
so obviously you're going to be wanting the NVMe form factor, not anything else. But
Not anything else. I'm guessing this is it right here.
why? Obviously, I'm looking at your stream like 10 seconds in the past.
Yeah,
but
you're looking at the past.
no, it's the one that's shaped like a. Fuck, I was gonna say a rectangle, but they're all.
The
rectangles.
box one. The box one.
Yeah, it's not a PC. It's not the one that slots where your graphics card would be slotting. It's the one that slots where
Your
the M key is. Yeah,
the M key is.
yeah.
Whoever's watching this is going, these noobs. They were telling us how to swap in. They don't know how.
Yeah.
This man doesn't know what
that's
it even
the one.
looks
That's
like.
the one.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm looking at. Yeah, that's the one that you
oh,
want to
okay.
buy. Yeah, you want to buy
Okay.
that one.
I was up on the know-how chat. I was up on the know-how.
Yeah.
I'm talking to
Anyways,
the imaginary chat. Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, you're gonna need a PCIe Gen 4 NVMe drive, and it's gonna, like they're saying, to have a heatsink. So make sure you get one. You can buy the black, which comes with one. It comes with or without a heatsink. So obviously buy the one that comes with a heatsink.
Right.
And you can also buy a third-party heatsink. Like those are also for sale. You can find one as long as it fits Sony's diagram.
The diagram, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would say before going, and it seems like a little bit of a hassle, but just to make sure, because you're going to be spending some money on it, might as well make sure that it at least fits correctly. They do have the size measurements all the way down to, down to the inches, or with the heat sink on as well. So you can go ahead, like I said, check out this website. Let me actually see what it's. It's just like PlayStation.com. PS5 install M.2 SSD.
So
And
yeah.
yeah,
So go ahead.
I was gonna say though, at the very end of the day, they do have something on here that they've written that just says, "Hey, SIE cannot guarantee that all M.2 SSD drives meeting the described specifications will work with your console, and assumes no responsibility for
Right.
the selection, performance, or use of third-party products."
It's
So
probably just them
it's
covering
legal jumbo.
their bums. Yeah.
Yeah, just in case. Hey, I
Yeah.
got everything and it works, but it's not working the right way.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I have at least two questions about drive swaps with the PS5. The
okay.
first one is, what happens if you don't use a heatsink? Is it
But
gonna
do they
kill?
have?
Yeah,
Wait. Well, I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look this up.
I want to know what happens if you don't use a heatsink. And my second question is, can you use a PCIe Gen 3 drive? Because PCIe by nature is backwards compatible. If you have a PCIe Gen 4 motherboard, absolutely there's nothing stopping you from using Gen 3, Gen 2, or even Gen 1. They're all backwards compatible, right?
Okay.
So if the PS5 is using, obviously, at least PCI Gen 4, because that's the drive they're saying, because PCIe is backwards compatible, in theory, you should be able to use a PCI Gen 3 card. It will,
Right.
and the key will fit. Like nothing stopping any human from opening that drive and putting a Gen 3 drive in there, right?
Right.
Well, I wonder what happens. Like, is the PS5 going to be like, no, this is not Gen 4, and it'll like just stop working, or it'll work, but at a much slower speed.
Well, I wish that their FAQ had all of that in there.
But I
They
again,
have
like
a.
I just feel like
They,
even if it would work, I feel like that's not something Sony would say would work because it would be detrimental to the experience. You know what I mean?
right.
Like
Because they've.
I don't think Sony wants someone to buy a Gen 3 drive and be like, "Oh, my PS5 is crap. This is this Sony's garbage or something like that."
Right.
When it
Right.
was technically the fault of the user, right?
Right. And I mean, like you said it at the very beginning, like you don't want the Gen 3. But like you said, it'd be an interesting thing to see if that actually works at all. Because if it's PCI 4, like you said, it should be backwards compatible.
Yeah,
It just wouldn't be as fast, right? It wouldn't meet those
it would
requirements.
honestly be like significantly slower, but like I'm so curious, like if it would work, but Sony would do a software check that would just like reject the drive immediately, or if it would work and they're being really quiet about it because they just don't want people to like try. You know what I mean?
Right. At least from their FAQ, when it comes to the heatsink, it doesn't really say. It actually talks about installing a heatsink on top of a heatsink.
Yeah, so don't do that.
It says don't do that. It just says don't. No, don't, if it
Well,
has a
yeah,
built-in
well, obviously
heatsink,
don't. Yeah,
don't
it's like,
install another
yeah,
heatsink on
no,
top
no,
of the
it's
heatsink. I'm
yeah,
just like,
no,
okay,
it's
that
like
seems
double wrapping your willy. Like,
yeah,
don't do it. Like, you just
don't.
no.
It ain't
Yeah,
gonna. It don't work like that.
yeah.
And I guess here's actually a really good thing is to answer is how is the M.2 SSD different to USB extended storage on the PS5 consoles?
Oh, that's an awesome question. Did someone ask that? Yeah.
I
Okay.
guess this was. I mean, it's a common thing, but PS5 games are playable on the M.2 SSD storage,
Right.
and PS5 games can be downloaded directly to that storage. Also, PS5 games can be updated on the SSD, the M.2 SSD. But if
Mhm.
you're just hooking up the extended, USB storage, you just store your games there. That's it. You're storing the games, it seems.
And they can't be booted off the
They
external
they
or?
they can't they can't be booted off the external.
Okay,
It's just
it's probably bandwidth limitations, I'm guessing, because it's going over USB, presumably 3, which is honestly still slower than PCI Gen 4, so that's got to
yeah.
be a bandwidth reason, yeah.
So that's it with there. And then can you format part of the M.2 SSD? No. You must format the entire thing. So you need to
Yeah,
format your
it's the
entire
same. I think the
drive.
PS3
That's
and the
just fine.
PS4 were the same way, no?
I think so. I don't
Yeah,
think
I think if
you
you
could
put it
actually
in a
partition
drive in
it.
the PS4, it would be like, oh, it's my drive now.
It's
Like it would just,
gone.
yeah, it would just take it,
Give me
yeah.
all of your power. But I
Yeah,
kind of wish
yeah,
that they
yeah,
would and answer the PCI 4, PCI 3 question.
yeah,
That would be really interesting. Maybe let's add on. Let's go talk to Sony. But they have like the complete diagram
yeah.
about how to install it, uninstall it, and it seems like you were saying, Alex, just slot it in 45-degree angle.
and then you just screw it in. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems it's a lot easier than it seems. It's just the way everything's written and the size requirements. And even like you said, the PCI 3 versus PCI 4, those little small things can, for just a normal consumer, kind of, trip you up a little bit.
That's the only thing that I can see being the biggest issue for most people, where they just go on Amazon and just type in like NVMe M.2, and they're gonna get a crap load of PCI Gen 3 card or PCI Gen 3 drives, a buttload, right?
Just gonna be like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, and they'll be like, wow, this is I want this one. This is the cheapest or whatever. You know what I mean? And they're gonna get like a cheap and Gen 3 card drive that's not gonna work presumably with the PS5. So you should have luck on that one. It has to be Gen 4, which in 2021 at the time of recording, there's not as many, and they're way more expensive.
Okay, yeah. So it looks, I mean, this is, like I said, if you're in the market for this, remember you do need to be part of the beta. And I think you can sign up for that beta firmware on the site that, we've been looking on the entire time. And it seems like, just to add on to the fact, when you do have this installed into your console, you can use it to download, copy, launch PS5 and PS4 games, as well as media apps. This allows you to increase the storage space available to you on your PS5 console, and you can freely move games between the PS5 console's storage, a connected USB extended storage device, and the M.2 SSD storage. That's it.
Yeah, I mean M.2, like that drive, like NVMe PCI Gen 4 is like a very fast drive, so like interface wise, that's probably why Sony chose it. Yeah,
it's got me wanting to like potentially upgrade in my PC.
Yeah, I rock 2 drives that are NVMe's in my
Look
my
at this
PC.
man. Look at the dump. I rock like 2.
One is my boot drive.
2.
Yeah, one is my boot drive, which is Windows and any like what I call mission critical programs, stuff that I use like all the time. That's on my NVMe drive. Then my second NVMe drive is what I use for recording on OBS.
Okay.
If I choose to do any offline recording, that's just my recording drive. And all my other stuff is just normal in quotation marks here, SATA SSDs. And then I have like one big fat mechanical drive for like slow archive storage.
It's more than me. I should up my game. I should up my game on my PC. I need to get hip with it.
I mean, do you need that much storage? How many?
No, I actually don't. I don't have anything. All I have is like Steam games. Because
you don't play Warzone. Because you don't play Warzone.
Yeah, I don't play Warzone. I'm not
What's the install size? Do you know? It's like 200. I think it's like 200.
Warzone's install size, like just off the bat.
Yeah, I mean on PC it's atrocious on PC. It's smaller on PS4, I think, for some reason. Warzone install.
We're both looking it up.
Size. It's like in the hundreds, I think.
It says it's 52.
That's the update. That's the update.
Oh, 133. 133.6 gigabytes. If you still have Modern Warfare installed. This was
a joint Modern Warfare and Warzone install is over 200 gigabytes. That's your answer right there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yeah, having those together, that is, I mean, so long story short, don't play Warzone.
Yeah. Long story short, play a good game. Oh no.
Go play something else.
Yeah. Go play Fortnite.
Yeah, go play Fortnite.
Speaking of Fortnite, I want you to go look up Fortnite now and tell me what the newest event is.
Fortnite's newest event. Isn't it like the I saw it too. I saw it this weekend.
Nope. Type it in.
Is it like it's not Invasion, is it?
That's not.
It's like the Rift Tour?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's Rift Tour.
I mean, tell me what's unique about the Rift Tour.
So from August 6th to the 8th, take a magical journey into magical new realities where Fortnite and a record-breaking superstar collide. Dive into the Rift Tour. Compete in in-game quests. Starting today, you can unlock rewards for the first wave of Rift Tour quest. Hop into the game between... Oh, wow, this was like... They did a prelim for this. What do you get? Get Cosmic Cuddles loading screen. The art is by Delicious Design League. You get a Rifster piece spray and a Cloud Kitty emoticon.
Is the page you're on right now not reveal the star?
No, I don't think okay, so apparently these are multiple stars from August 6th. at 6 p.m. the America's star is going to be revealed, or
And
I guess
it should have
there's.
already been as of today, as of
Oh,
recording.
okay. I'm just looking at this. I didn't realize there's Americas, Global, Asia, Oceania, EU, and ME, and then there's the Americas again to close it out. So
Yeah.
let me see if they
They
have
should
this
they've
revealed.
revealed who the first one
Do
is.
I need to have to do this in a presents? Oh, Ariana, what's up, Ariana? How's it going? You look like you came out of League for a second.
No.
So Ariana, will I get like, will she come after us?
I think it's an in-game concert, and it's also like a costume, I believe.
Yeah,
It's a
so
skin.
we're
It's a skin, yeah.
we're looking at, what is this again? Fortnite Rift Tour.
It's Fortnite Rift Tour.
Why can't I ever spell Fortnite too?
Yeah.
Rift Tour. I mean, I would put the audio on, but I'm pretty sure it's copyrighted. It looks
Yeah.
just like her. I mean, what is she doing? She's dancing, and you get to use her as a skin. Like you get to use the skin.
Yeah, it's a skin for your character.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. I mean, they've done this in the past. You know, it's nothing. I mean, they've done the concert element in the past, but I don't. Maybe they just haven't done both the concert and the skin. Or maybe
I just want to say that we don't play Fortnite. We don't encourage anyone to play Fortnite.
I mean, you can try it. You can try. If you
Yeah.
can, if you can play Minecraft, you can play Fortnite. And if you can play Fortnite and Minecraft, you can also play Call of Duty Warzone.
Yeah.
You can be one of them.
Sure. Speaking of battle royales, are you gonna play season 9?
It's season 11.
Is it what? Is it 11?
Yeah, Legacy was 10. I think Legacy's 10, and then they don't even number them anymore. It's just Emergence. Apex doesn't even have numbers. They said, you know what, forget it. Is it season 10 or is it 11?
Maybe it's season 10.
It's like it's one of the two.
Emergence. It's season 10. You're right. It's season 10.
Okay.
Yep.
Friend of the show, Eheg brought up a good point, and Eheg's like, I'm tired of battle royales right now. I did my battle pass this season, and then I was just kind of done. We did actually end up, and we didn't talk about it because it was unveiled after, Seer's gameplay trailer was unveiled after the last week's show, but his kit, people are really fearing that it might break the game because
it looks honestly.
We were talking about those drones. Were we not wondering what those drones would do, and what do they do?
There's trackers. So basically, people saying like Bloodhound is useless now, but I don't know, man. I think Bloodhound's scan is still really powerful. You know what I mean?
I think his only tracks maybe one person. But the way that they wrote the ability, it says it finds all of the enemies in front or near him.
You're talking about his passive or his tactical?
His tactical.
His tactical, it's
because they still didn't do a good job of showing his gameplay in the gameplay reveal trailer. It was like, what on earth? But I mean, what they did say after that, those drones, once they kind of they go out and I guess they emit something, but they disrupt healing. They disrupt healing items.
That's insane, isn't it?
And yeah, any type of item usage, they disrupt it. This man is like Crypto and Bloodhound combined, but what if you have a Crypto coming in here, does an EMP, and then this man just goes, hi, you don't get to even use those shields anymore.
Can you imagine just like a team of Crypto, I would say Crypto, Seer, and sure, Bloodhound, just a team of trackers?
They know.
God.
They know. They know.
Insane. I can imagine Seer's healing disruption to be so powerful in arenas.
Yeah, I think arenas is where he's definitely going to shine, especially with his ultimate, where the actual area that it's going to cover is going to be a good chunk of that map. You know what I mean? And especially when, I mean, not that you never know where people are in arenas.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not where the bullets
are coming from. It's where the bullets are coming from.
It's where the bullets are coming from. Yeah. But it's still nice to just have that direct beat on, hey, this person is moving to this position, as opposed to just, Bloodhound, you just assume they're just standing there.
Yeah.
Pray.
I'm curious, obviously, as when the new legend drops, gonna see how it works. I mean, I'll buy them. I have so many legend tokens. I could buy them like 10 times over, but
yeah.
Hashtag Apex legend coins rich, but
I mean, yeah, and honestly, in theory, I do love playing the kind of tracker characters. I wasn't into crypto as much because you do have to be in that drone.
You have to be
and
you have to be like crouching
you have to be
awkwardly.
crouching in the drone. I mean, you really need a team that plays around you, or you're just really good with crypto. There's some godlike cryptos out
There's some
there
really
that
good, there's some good cryptos for sure.
they
Yeah.
scan in and out of that drone. But just having to be aiming down sights is something I'm always doing because I'm a mid-range character. I usually play mid-range weapons. That's anything that's essentially the marksman class. And I do
Yeah.
snipers, but it's perfect for that. That's his
Yep.
passive.
Triple take and what is it? G7,
G7.
30, Bochuck,
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh yes, the triple take is back, baby. Let's go.
The triple take they're keeping it in the care package, aren't they? They're not taking it out?
I'm gonna just hope and say that it's back. I
pretty-
missed it. I missed it. I
Yeah,
never
no,
and you
I haven't
didn't
been
see it
using
that
it a
much
lot.
either. It was so weird. It was like a rare. It's
It was.
it's a-
I barely. Well, to be honest, I've rarely played battle royale this season, but I think no, they're putting the alternator into the care package, and they're pulling the prowler out.
What power difference are they smoking? Did
Well-
the alternator just get super powerful in like this season?
No,
What-
like that's the thing.
what's
Like
the
I don't
reason?
think anyone was complaining about the alternator, right? But apparently they're putting it in, but it's going to have disruptor rounds. So it's
we
gonna
done.
be so it's
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
done.
alternator with disruptor rounds.
we
And prowler's
done.
coming out.
We done.
Yeah.
No, man. Oh, man. I know the map, of course, we already talked about it. It's going to be World's Edge. But it seems like ranked is going back to Kings Canyon. So
Yeah, and you're gonna get ranked arenas, which is
in ranked arenas, which is
could be alright. I don't know.
which is nice. I mean, it's fine as long as you don't get stuck with crazy people. I mean, hey, it's
Yeah.
arenas. I guess before we close out this week's show, I do want to ask: did you play? I know Ed has been playing. Was it Splitgate?
Yep.
Is that what it's
mhm.
called?
Yep.
I tried to play last night, but the servers were full. I've seen
Yeah.
a couple of streamers. It's just a straight up arena shooter.
It's like Halo with portals, so that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. It's like
Yeah.
Halo with portals. It's very popular right now. I haven't tried it yet, but it feels like something I'd probably enjoy. So I'll check it out. It's PC only, isn't it? Like I don't think
PC,
it's
yeah, PC only. I think you can download it from Steam, free to play in beta at the moment. But it looks pretty solid. I mean, it auto clips your multi kills too. It's pretty nice. I was like, okay, let's go. This what's up. I'll try it out. I'll see how it works. I did see a lot of people spawn shooting, like opening a portal to the enemy
opening the
spawn.
portal and just shooting through
and
the
just
portal.
shooting.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
got a clip of it. And I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
If it's a straight up arena shooter, I feel like that's probably, I don't know, PCs are probably a good choice for it, at least for now, because I don't think arena shooters typically do that well on console. Well, to be fair, it hasn't been that many arena shooters.
there hasn't
period.
been in a minute. So
I guess. Well, would you consider Halo an arena shooter? I kind of is, isn't it?
yeah.
Kind of is. Yeah. But
And that beta the infinite beta just happened for like
Yeah.
3 days. I thought it was gonna be longer, but
mm,
hopefully that looks pretty fun. It seemed like a lot of people came out of that positive, so that's a good thing right there.
it's gonna be cross play, PC
cross-
and Xbox.
Yes.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
and it's free to play, so you can't.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to play it. I'm definitely gonna hop in and see.
Yeah. Why not?
I like it.
Have you played Halo on PC yet? Because they have almost all of them on PC now. So and
No,
they're cheap.
no.
They're actually very cheap.
I feel like I should. I
Yeah.
should actually go through the Halo like actual story, the saga.
Yeah,
I've
they
kind
run
of like dipped in and out, but
they run pretty decent on PC now. So just look at Halo Master Chief Collection on Steam actually, and it's like you can buy one for $10 or buy all of them for 50. That's really well priced actually.
yeah, it's a good price.
Yeah.
I guess that's gonna do it for us this week. Episode number 95. Alex, where can they find you, or where do you want them to find you if they want to follow up? After
Yeah.
this?
You can follow me on Steam. On Steam.
On Steam.
Twitch.
Follow on
Yeah, on
Steam.
Twitch. That's twitch.tv/root24 ROUTE 24. Playing Dragon Quest tomorrow. I've been honestly just like only playing Dragon Quest the last month.
Yeah, trying to make
'cause
some progress in that.
I'm like trying to get to the story. I'm like halfway through the story now, and I'm looking. There's a website I use to see how long my games are. It's howlongtobeat.com.
Mhm.
It's like an 80-hour game, which is
Oh my
normal.
goodness.
Yeah, which is normal for a
For
JRPG
yeah,
yeah.
for the
But
Dragon Quest and Persona, yes.
I'm like only playing that on. I only stream twice a week for like 2 hours each time, plus 4 hours a week. I'm like, when am I gonna finish this
We
game?
have some holidays coming up. I don't know if you're going to stream extra
I
then
try. I
in
want
Japan.
to. Every time I have like a long weekend, I'm like, I'm gonna use this to stream, and then I wake up at like 2 p.m. and I'm like, I feel like doing it, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
It's like,
forget it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So I
Oh
don't know.
man. Well, hopefully I mean, it's a pretty still, it's a chill stream. So
Have you been in the stream recently? Like, have you been following the story?
I was there like last week.
Yeah, it's getting wild, isn't it?
It was weird.
It's getting weird. It's getting
It
really
was
weird.
weird
Yeah.
wrestling dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even.
Yeah,
It was like it went from like collecting the crystals, like you said. It was like, okay, this is pretty straightforward, to like, what am I
yeah, like
watching right
what
now?
is happening? Why am I here? Why am I wearing a bunny costume? What does this have to do with anything?
It was like it was like you went to Gold Saucer, but you just
it's
didn't.
what so I'm like,
It
why
wasn't supposed
like
to.
like
And the music is the same. The music was the same too.
oh my god, it's the same field music and the same battle music for like
But
40
weird
hours.
stuff,
And I'm like,
but
oh
it's
my
completely
god.
different. It's
I'm like
it's so strange. So
anyways,
strange.
Dragon Quest, yeah, come check it
Yeah.
out if you want. Yeah.
Definitely hop in and check them out on that. And then you can follow me at NinjaTrix, NinjaTrix, on Twitch. I'm streaming Yomawari, which is a cute little horror game from NIS. I was gonna say America, but it's from NIS.
Well, from NAS, yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna play the sequel?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna play the sequel. I don't know when I'm gonna play the sequel is the question, because these games I think it's only 8 hours. It's pretty short, and I should finish it probably this week. But this month is Kingdom Hearts month, man. I'm back in it. Chain of Memories. Chain of Memories is coming up, man. Probably at least by next week, Chain of Memories. And then I'm probably going to play Death's Door, aka the game with the crow that beats things up.
How long did it take you to do Kingdom Hearts 1?
Kingdom Hearts 1, honestly, if I didn't mess around with trying to do the secret bosses, like find them in the wrong order, it was probably around 25 hours. The game is much shorter than I thought it was.
I didn't think it would be, for some reason, 25 seems real short to me.
Yeah. And I think I got through at 40 hours, but definitely could have cut it down by 10 at least, for sure. And even further. If you just want to just go straight through the story and enjoy it, don't put it on proud mode unless you just really want a challenge. I don't feel like the game is balanced at the beginning for proud mode, like hard mode, because they just 1 to 2 hit kill you when it comes to bosses, even enemies. And so it just scales. Once you get towards the end, it probably evens out a little bit better, but definitely a rough experience if you just want to play the story.
Yeah, you should get a Switch and do.
I want to do Pokemon. I want to do Pokemon Unite.
I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say buy a Switch and then play a game, but then I forgot what game I was gonna say you should play. But
a Monster Hunter, Rise, Stories. Those are both on. They'll be on PC. Bayonetta.
Oh, that was it. Bayonetta, yeah.
Oh,
Bayonetta.
okay. I was gonna say there's only so many. We can only go through like the 10 list.
Yeah, you should do Bayonetta on stream.
Yeah, once my Switch OLED comes in.
Are you gonna buy one?
I don't know.
Are you gonna? I mean, you should.
Still,
honestly, you should.
I'm still freaking out that Nintendo's gonna do like literally next spring, freaking Switch 2.0 or crap comes out. I'm like, no.
I mean,
it's okay. It's okay. It's not gonna do anything better than what the old one does. It's fine. I should get a Switch OLED.
It's honestly, like I said in our other podcast episodes, like, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago at this point, but like if they ever do a Switch 2, it'll probably be a lot like the Game Boy Color was to the original Game Boy, where you can buy games that'll work on both for a while, and then eventually it'll only work on the Switch too.
Yeah.
So like it'll give you, you're like, oh, I do want to upgrade for this better experience, but I don't have to. I can hold on to my Switch for another year or whatever, right? It just doesn't make sense for me for Nintendo to put out the OLED Switch and then like basically nuke it. You know what I mean? Within 8 months, I don't see Nintendo doing that, right? Does that make sense to them to kill their own hardware like that?
Yes and no. It doesn't make sense, but what they would essentially do is everyone who was actually waiting for that Switch 2, not us, not the people who didn't get it. I'm talking about the people who have a Switch 1. They all buy the Switch 2. The people who, like me, buy the Switch OLED, and then we look at it and go, well, we could have waited a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean that's
it.
the fear when it
That's
comes to
the fear.
most. Well, when it comes to anything in when it comes to electronics, period. Like,
Yeah, because every year something new is happening.
yeah, that's because like I know if we're like, oh, I kind of want, for example, like I want an iPad. You know what I mean? Like I really want an iPad, but do I like buy
Do I
this once or do I wait like
do I
six
wait
more months for
6
another
more
iPad?
months?
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, I mean, like if I'm going to get anything, it's just better just go ahead and get or like you said last week. I mean, I even found the Monster Hunter Switch like straight up, like it's fine. It's normal price, no overpricing or anything like that.
Just buy it. Yeah.
I could just buy that one. That was the one I was going to get anyways. But
Yeah.
then the OLED's out there. Anyways, chat or
Yeah.
everyone. We're going to be going, and we'll catch you again next week for episode number 96 of the Unknown Games podcast. Remember, you set the tone. Go play some games. Try to smile every day. If you can't, remember, you can ask somebody to order you a smile.
From McDonald's specifically.
From McDonald's.
Have you ever ordered a smile from
No,
McDonald's?
I'm afraid to do that. I'm afraid.
I have.
No, what did they do? Did they just literally smile?
I've never done it in person, but I've done it
on the phone
with McDelivery.
Oh, that's even weirder.
Yeah, because you can add it to your cart, right? And when my food came, I got my receipt, and it had like itemized. It was itemized on my receipt,
yeah,
like smile times 2. And then there was a smile.
Had a times 2. You can specify the amount?
Yeah, you can get like 100 smiles if you wanted to.
That's
but the guy
dirty.
who brought me my food was just like, oh, hey. And also, and he showed me my receipt and he drew like a smiley face on it. I'm like, oh, that's nice, man. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was going to do like a smile.
Like he was going to do an awkward 2-time smile.
2-time smile, yeah.
Reset his face and then smile again.
And then
No. Anyways, yes. Goodbye, everyone.
All right, everybody. Have a great day. And we'll catch you next week.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.